Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here, and today we have a disappointing Call of Duty Warzone video. As you guys know, we have been expecting the Ural Mountains map to be introduced to the game for quite some time. Literally 6+ months ago now, since we got the alpha and we got to play the Fireteam maps. Verdansk is being overrun by zombies, and when the infection becomes too much, we are finally going to nuke the map in time for the release of Season 3 on April the 21st/April the 22nd, depending on which time zone you are in, and that is according to the Season 2 Battle Pass end date. Well, it seems like instead of going to the Ural Mountains after the map is nuked, we are instead going to be seeing a prequel version of Verdansk because a trailer for it recently leaked online by a hip-hop news leak account. The trailer features various different rappers such as Young Thug and Jack Harlow, so I'm guessing someone involved in the music industry is responsible for this leak. I've never really understood the concept of idolizing people who's like, oh yeah, I saw my favorite rapper appear in a trailer where they don't even talk, I'm definitely going to hop on Warzone now. If it featured actors and comedians, it makes more sense because they can add their own personality and flair into the trailer that unfortunately we didn't see. I won't be able to show the trailer in this video due to obvious copyright reasons. Activision have been going ham with taking down all re-uploads of it all over the internet, but the trailer was unfinished and it also abruptly cuts off at the end, so we'll have to wait to see the finished product and hopefully it looks a lot better. From the ending of Modern Warfare's campaign, we know that Verdansk was destroyed during the Cold War and was rebuilt after the Cold War, and that is what we are going to see.
City's under evacuation. Al-Qatala's got complete control.
This place was nice once.
Well, it's not anymore.
East and West rebuilt Verdansk after the Cold War.
Aki didn't like that cooperation. Now they've got armor, heavy weapons.
Verdansk was ground zero in the Cold War. A city of tunnels, gulags, bunkers, and weapons of mass destruction. This is Viktor Zakhaev. His father was a Soviet-era hero who wanted a world war he never got. So Viktor found a willing partner to fulfill his father's wishes. Asaad had an axe to grind against the superpowers. He was free, armed, and turned loose.
So before I continue talking about my thoughts on all of this, because I have a big rant, this video has been kindly sponsored by Blendjet. Blendjet have just launched their newest edition, the Blendjet 2, a portable blender that delivers game-changing technology to make fresh smoothies, shakes, or mixed drinks wherever you are on the go. Perfect for a healthy, fast-paced, and refreshing lifestyle. It's 5 times more powerful than the original, able to turn carrots to juice in just mere seconds. You can recharge it anywhere via USB, and its battery life allows you to blend over 15 times with a single charge. The Blendjet 2 is also larger than the original, holding 16 ounces of liquid. It's water resistant, so you can make a cocktail while relaxing in the pool. However, it isn't waterproof. One of the most innovative features of the Blendjet 2 is the ability to lock it to avoid accidentally blending whilst you're on the move. Just press and hold the power button for 3 seconds to lock. I definitely recommend purchasing a Blendjet due to the versatility of being able to take it anywhere with you and blend on the go. For day trips, the gym, school, work, or whatever the case may be, it's perfect for breaks. The Blendjet automatically stops when it's done blending. It's also super easy to clean, just fill with soapy water and blend. In the background you will have been seeing me making a quick milkshake. With that all being said, you can click the link in the description and use the code TGRJET to get 3 free jetpacks with the purchase of a Blendjet. Anyways, let's continue on with the rest of the video. So, bringing it back to the subject of this video, judging from those quotes at the end of Modern Warfare's campaign, I think that a prequel to Verdansk was always planned, and I have speculated about this in countless prior videos and tweets before. I always thought that we were going to be seeing a post-Cold War version of Verdansk, or maybe even a version of Verdansk during the Cold War, but we really should be seeing the Ural Mountains 2 to compensate and refresh the mode, because a lot of people are getting really bored of Verdansk, and they were excited for a brand new map that is very different in design to Verdansk to mix things up a little bit. A lot of people have been calling this map the 1980s version of Verdansk, but I don't know if that makes sense, to be honest, because the area was destroyed during the Cold War and was rebuilt after the Cold War, so it actually makes more sense for the map to be set during the 1990s, as in the trailer quite a lot of the map has already begun to be rebuilt. We see an old version of the superstore and various other familiar points of interest, for example. But the stadium is currently in production and being built. The dam doesn't have any water there. In fact, there's not even a dam but simply a wooden bridge. And there's a lot of other interesting points of interest, but those are some of the key ones. But they appear to have also stolen some spots from the Ural Mountains map and just slapped them onto Verdansk, which makes no sense. For example, we see the mines area and also Duga, which is based off of the radio array at Chernobyl, and we also see this spot in one of the alternate endings for Black Ops Cold War's campaign. So this is one of the points of interest. There appears to even be a section from Vorkuta that was originally planned to be on the Ural Mountains map too. Honestly, I am so annoyed by all of this. Imagine hyping up the bunkers and a nuke event for over an entire year since Verdansk was first introduced to lead up to its destruction. It's been drawn out over way too long of a period with nothing really significant happening until, well, almost now. So then we are going to destroy the map and the devs are like, psych, haha, you're still on Verdansk. Like, what a joke. It completely defeats the point of the nuke. How does this make any sense? I don't know who is in charge or is making these decisions. They seem to just not be able to build up any fulfillment or suspense at all. Almost any time the community starts getting hyped up, we seem to always be let down, time after time after time again. I'm totally okay with seeing Verdansk again, but I think that they should have gotten rid of it for a while, introduced the Ural Mountains, and then brought back Verdansk at a later date. After all, this is the Black Ops Cold War integration. Verdansk is kind of a boring map, to be honest. It's just so dull and generic and has a very strict color scheme of greys, yellows, and browns. The map has almost no personality, and it's had almost no changes to the map over the past year either. Like what? We saw some tunnels and train tracks? Who cares? The only awesome things that have happened to Warzone was the initial Know Your History Black Ops Cold War reveal event, and also the Haunting of Verdansk Halloween event. That was awesome and completely blew it out of the park, although it lasted for a very short period. In terms of map changes and evolution though, it's been like a whale out of water. It's just been really stale. You could take the original Verdansk map that we got over a year ago now and compare it to the map we have now, and honestly, they're not even really that different. And the problem with this new Verdansk being a prequel after the Cold War is that the map changes will literally just be it being built into the original Verdansk, so nothing special or surprising. We know exactly what's going to happen. I think seeing Verdansk during the Cold War would be a lot better because only the bunkers and Gulag would be the same. The rest of the map would be completely different. Over the past week, prior to this leak dropping out of nowhere, I heard some rumors that the Ural Mountains was scrapped a while ago and that people were going to be severely disappointed by the Nuke event and that we would just see Verdansk again. I was like, no way, they just scrapped that entire map. Recently, data miners posted all of the points of interest from the map on Twitter, and it features underwater labs, WMD, caves, Vorkuta, nuclear silos, ice rinks, large lakes to swim in, a chemical spill, and so much more. And all of this is so much funner than what we currently have in Verdansk, which is just a generic city area. Especially the swimming mechanics that the Ural Mountains has to offer, that is so fluid and cool. How are they just going to throw all of this away? It confuses the hell out of me, and they're only releasing one Fireteam map per season to Black Ops Cold War, yet there's loads of points of interest left, so I'm worried that we might not even see all of them. A lot of Treyarch COD lovers don't really play Warzone much because they enjoy that faster paced, funner, smoother, more arcade style of gameplay as opposed to the dull, sluggish, more realistic gameplay style that Modern Warfare has to offer. Personally, I hate the design choices of Modern Warfare, but I can appreciate that it did wonders for the franchise, but it took it 10 steps forward and backwards at the same time. A lot of Treyarch fans were holding out on the Ural Mountains map dropping so that they can start playing Warzone more often, because right now, Black Ops Cold War I think is a very fun game, even though there seems to be a lot of hate for it online. I think that it's somewhat unwarranted. I understand that there is a lack of 6v6 content in multiplayer, but I think that the multiplayer is pretty solid, and if you love zombies, zombies is very fun in that game, and I think zombies alone knocks anything that Modern Warfare has to offer out of the park. Zombies is 1,000 times what Spec Ops is in Modern Warfare, and I just prefer the more fluid gameplay that Black Ops Cold War has to offer, whereas Modern Warfare is just a lot slower and clunkier. So because there's not much 6v6 content in Black Ops Cold War, people who mainly just play multiplayer but might be interested in Warzone if we did see the Ural Mountains were just anxiously awaiting for this new map, and as he said at the beginning of this video, video. Ever since the alpha for Black Ops Cold War, we have been expecting this map, so people have been hyping it up for a very, very long time, and now everyone's hype has just been disappointed. The Ural Mountains map is larger than Verdansk, and its design is much more similar to that of Blackout, of which I think is more interesting than the endless high rooftops and doors that Verdansk has to offer. Right now, I barely touch Warzone. I just hop on whenever something interesting happens, which is very rarely, and I don't think Verdansk is that enjoyable. Rebirth Island is great though, so with this news, I don't think I'm going to be touching Warzone much in the foreseeable future, and I've already seen a bunch of people in my comment section and on Twitter saying that they're probably not going to be touching it much now that we're not going to be seeing the Ural Mountains. People are saying they're going to uninstall it and stuff like that, and by all means go ahead and do so. I was also looking forward to them slightly tweaking the mechanics to allow for swimming, because apparently it's canon in Modern Warfare that when you touch water you instantly die. It makes just about as much sense as the Warzone storyline. The storyline in Warzone has to be the worst thing ever to keep up with. The zombies infection is now at 33% in Verdansk, finally, but it's literally pointless now because all of this is drawn out and has boring build-up that just ultimately leads to a flop, that being the prequel version of Verdansk, which on its own would be fine if we did see the Ural Mountains too, but considering they've been hyping up some sort of big event for an entire year, and all we're getting is a reskin of the map, that is how you kill everyone's mood. The whole thing with the zombies has also been so underwhelming, as it's been stuck at 5% for ages, and by the time that the nuke goes off, it will have been a whole 2 months since zombies arrived on the Vonderhaar ship, killing all of the hype and momentum for the nuke. The zombies are now at the TV station, but why is it even at 33% if there aren't any more zombies than before? Nothing in Warzone makes any sense. It doesn't follow a remotely coherent story at all. Remember when Sergeant Frank Woods was captive in the Gulag and there was intel about it, and he escaped from the Gulag and we found his backpack on the map? What was that all about? Why on earth did Mr. Z look like Imran Zakiev in the Spec Ops cutscene, but then he turned out to actually be Victor, his son, and Imran is apparently dead? I'm guessing that was because they planned to have him as a cameo in Black Ops Cold War, so they had to change the storyline that they had planned. That's all I can think of. And Imran Zakiev was originally supposed to be Mr. Z, maybe? Why are there even Cold War operators in the modern era? Why did the boat randomly turn up with Nazi zombies even though it's a Soviet ship? They never really explained that. Why are zombies just going around Verdansk carrying a metal station that you need to activate in order to spawn them in? Why don't they just spawn in naturally? I'm guessing we'll be trying to rescue Adler from the Post-Cold War Verdansk soon then, as we know that he was taken there after being kidnapped and interrogated by Stitch in the Season 2 cutscene, likely interrogated in Laos, and brainwashed in a similar way to Alex Mason in this chair. Everything is so messy. I wonder if connecting the Modern Warfare and Black Ops storyline together is what's caused this, as a lot of this definitely wasn't planned when the writers were originally writing Modern Warfare's storyline. As the game was originally supposed to be grounded in reality, and now we have zombies, which I like, by the way. I like that fun stuff, but I'm just saying that the game was originally planned to be something different than what it's turned out to be, which I think is a good thing. The more fun factor they can add into Modern Warfare, the better. Also, isn't Soap off of the coast of Verdansk? But we are now about to nuke the map and go to the past, so where is he? What is even going on? And why when we go to the past? Because we all know that there's still for some weird reason going to be the Modern Warfare operators there. I wish they would at least give some sort of explanation for that. It's impossible for me to even follow what's happening. I understand that most people don't care about the storyline stuff, but now that everything is connected together to do with the Dark Ether storyline in Black Ops Cold War Zombies and the stuff that's happening in the campaigns for Black Ops Cold War, I want to keep up with it all to tie all of the pieces together, but I don't think that anyone even knows what's going on, probably not even the developers. As I said earlier, the map changes have been handled really poorly in Warzone. I was hoping that would change with the Ural Mountains being introduced, because Treyarch did a much better job of map changes with Blackout. We saw so many cool changes, such as Buried being added onto the map, but with the new rendition of Verdansk, the changes will literally just be it being built into the Verdansk we have right now, so what's even the point? We know what's going to happen. Everything is going to be so predictable. Warzone's gone the whole of 2020 with pretty much no real competition, and it's been largely benefited by the pandemic and lockdown. That's why it has become such a pillar. I mean, it would have been really successful either way due to it being free to play and Call of Duty being such an established franchise, but it was definitely helped out by the pandemic. But over the next couple of years, it's going to have a lot more competition with Halo, with Battlefield and more, and many other surprises. So I wonder how it's going to hold up longevity wise, because right now the only thing keeping it on top is the lack of competition, and Call of Duty, as I said, being a really established franchise. There's constant invisibility bugs, endless hackers, and stim shot glitches. The game is kind of just a complete mess, and they're handling all of the events and map changes really poorly, which is certainly not helping things, especially because they keep letting us down time after time again. If the Ural Mountains is cancelled or delayed, I think that it's solely because the map design is so different from that of Verdansk, with a lot of wide open areas like Blackout, and I think that they thought that kids couldn't handle Verdansk going away for a little while and seeing some good map design that isn't just stacks of buildings and doors, and maybe the Ural Mountains plays a bit weirdly with Modern Warfare's slower movement. It definitely suits Treyarch's style of guns up at all times philosophy a lot more. Blackout had a lot of issues such as armor, but the creativity was so much fun. We could have literally had Blackout 2.0 with better mechanics, because Warzone is definitely the much better battle royale in my own personal opinion, and that is with me even having a Treyarch bias, but I believe that Blackout has a lot more fun factor than Warzone, and meshing Blackout and Warzone together would create something amazing, I think. The Ural Mountains is just so much more beautiful than Verdansk due to the vibrant colour style, despite Black Ops Cold War's engine being less graphically capable than Modern Warfare's, so I was looking forward to seeing how it would look on Warzone and if it would look a lot less depressing than Verdansk. I don't think that having Verdansk for another 2 years, and with all of the weird issues that Warzone's been having, is going to be the thing to hold its reign. As he said, people are bored of Verdansk. A fresh Verdansk alongside a brand new, quite different map would be perfect. The player count is definitely high enough in Warzone. A lot of people are playing it. If they were to have 2 maps at once and also Rebirth Island, I think there would be enough players to fill all of the player pools. But the thing is, I think that the Ural Mountains may be cancelled for good. I'm hoping that it's just delayed and it may release later on, but the reason why I think it may be cancelled for good is because some of its points of interest, as he said, have been stripped from it and slapped onto Verdansk. If the Ural Mountains is still planned, why would they do that? Also, according to VGC sources, which are really accurate, yes, this is the Warzone overhaul, not the Ural Mountains, and when they reported confirming the leaked trailer to be legitimate, Activision falsely copyright strikes them on Twitter, even though they just commented on the leaks and didn't even show any leaked assets themselves. This is illegal and is a clear breach of power, but it's no surprise coming from Activision. The thing is, if they knew that people were going to be disappointed by this news, because I've not seen anyone hyped about this, everyone is so upset. If they knew people were going to be disappointed, then maybe just plan differently. Then you wouldn't need to be shutting people up when things accidentally leak. At the end of the day, you can't just shut people up for talking about it. It's not like they're actually sharing the leak itself. And now there are clowns blaming leakers for overhyping the community and trying to downplay people's genuine concerns, as if people leaking the Ural Mountains is the problem and not the upcoming Nuke event itself and the new map being underwhelming. That is the core root of the problem, not the fact that leaks overhyped us. People would be upset regardless because they have teased this for over a year now, so of course they would be expecting something much larger to happen. Even if there were no leaks, we would have still expected the Ural Mountains just by playing Fireteam and the Outbreak Zombies mode, as it's very obvious just from playing them that they make up part of a much bigger map and are designed in a similar format to Blackout's map. You can even see the other points of interest in the distance if you go to the edges of the maps. People would have thought that the Ural Mountains was going to come even if there were no leaks. Me personally, I have seen leaked images of the full map, and on screen right now you can see a recreation from Kalanine on Twitter based off of Exclusive Ace's leaks from last year, because he also saw gameplay and images of the map. The Ural Mountains was planned. Obviously I quit leaking stuff 8ish months ago now, but I'm telling you this for transparency's sake, since many people in the community have seen the full map with their own eyes, so it definitely was a thing. Oh, and by the way, with what we know now, what on earth was Vonderhaar's tweet about? I've been a big fan of Warzone, and it's been inspiring collaborating with the team to mash it and Cold War together. Today is just the beginning, so much more to come. But the thing is, all we're seeing is a reskin of Verdansk, and yes, there are some locations from the Ural Mountains added onto it, but only a few. It's not really a Treyarch map, to be honest. It still just looks like normal Verdansk. It seems aesthetically that it's still inspired by Infinity Ward's design choices as opposed to Treyarch's. I've seen some people saying that maybe they were planning on some sort of Blackout 2, and maybe they were super early into Black Ops Cold War's development, weren't, but definitely by the time that Warzone swung around they weren't. They did say that Warzone would be the last COD Battle Royale when it released, meaning that the Ural Mountains was meant to be in Warzone if it was ever to see the light of day. There were some leaked images of a zoo, which is one of the points of interest on the Ural Mountains, floating around on Twitter a while ago, and it had a placeholder Blackout HUD. That was just for Fireteam though. I guess they were using it as a placeholder HUD for Fireteam, but the thing is the Fireteam maps are actually given the prefix WZ aka Warzone in the files of Black Ops Cold War, meaning that yes, this map was definitely planned for Warzone at some point, and maybe it will be releasing in the future, I hope so, but with all the evidence we have right now, it might be scrapped entirely. I am really hoping that if the Ural Mountains doesn't release alongside the prequel to Verdansk, that it will release at a later date, maybe with Call of Duty 2021 World War II Vanguard. However, it doesn't really fit the era, and that is the problem. If the map has been delayed, where is the appropriate time for them to release it? In a year from now? That surely would be way too long, and as he said, it wouldn't really fit in with World War II. I just can't really see an appropriate time for them to release it now, which is why I think it might be cancelled for good. Honestly, I think that we might be seeing 3+ years of Verdansk straight. In 2020, we had normal Verdansk. In 2021, this year, obviously we're seeing the Post-Cold War Verdansk introduced, and we will also be seeing the nuked version of Verdansk at some point, probably in 2022, with the sequel to Modern Warfare, with a new third-person escape from Tarkov style mode, in which is going to be a lot more slow-paced and tactical, and all of the loot that you collect will stay with you into the next game after you exfil the map. Well, if there's 3 different versions of Verdansk introduced, where does the Ural Mountains fit in? And this is why I think that it might be cancelled for good. And we could even see a World War II version of Verdansk at some point too. People are going to be so bored of Verdansk. I don't know if people can handle the same map for that long of a time period, especially when Verdansk is so mundane and boring aesthetically and design-wise. If the Ural Mountains never releases to Verdansk, I hope that we could see maybe the full map introduced into Fireteam and Black Ops Cold War as some sort of large-scale multiplayer mode that is similar to Blackout, or even introduced into Outbreak. That would be so much fun to play on the full map in a much more open world format. After all, there has been rumours of some sort of free-to-play zombies experience potentially coming sometime down the line, so maybe it's possible that if we see that, it could be played on the full Ural Mountains map, but who knows? We do know that Outbreak is planned for future Treyarch games, so it's going to be something that's going to be evolving over time. Another thing that people have been speculating is that maybe they had trouble porting the Ural Mountains map from Black Ops Cold War into Modern Warfare. Especially with the swimming mechanics, maybe they couldn't get them properly working. The Rebirth Island Easter egg even has notes that references Mount Yamantau, one of the mountains that makes up the Ural Mountains, so surely this was a direct teaser towards us seeing the Ural Mountains map. So yeah, we definitely did not need leaks in order to think that the Ural Mountains was coming. They have been teasing it for a very long time. Maybe if the Ural Mountains hasn't been cancelled, we may end up seeing it in a year's time, and that is a really long time period to wait, but it might be so that it's able to compete with Battlefield. I know it doesn't really tie in with World War II, but it doesn't necessarily have to, and there are Nazi zombies that are on Verdansk right now, so I wonder if that is going to be how the Ural Mountains could actually tie into World War II Vanguard, because as you guys know, Valentina is using targeted anomaly technology to unleash lost Nazis from the Dark Ether on the next Zombies map set in Berlin. So I wonder if that is going to be how they could tie it in with the World War II game. Lastly, some dialogue leaked from data miners on Twitter of a cutscene that's going to take place after the Nuke event. Maybe it's the Season 3 cutscene, or maybe it's just the cutscene that happens after the nuke goes off. Anyways, it confirms that we are going to be rescuing Adler from Verdansk, as I assume he was held captive in the chair in the new Nuketown Gulag. Hudson says it's been weeks, what's the sitrep? Wolf says, rescue mission was a cluster, we got shrunked hard. Adler has been taken there. Sons of bitches worked him real good. The Nova 6 threat, man it was BS. A distraction to draw him, us in. We've chased every lead, showed them the same courtesy that Adler showed. Intel points to Verdansk. Hudson says pack your bags, bring our boy home. So I wonder if we will see Adler or whether it's too late and he might already be dead. As you guys know from the Season 2 cutscene, we were baited into thinking thinking that Stitch was up to stuff with Nova 6, but it was actually just a bait and play. I'm interested to see where this storyline heads, and by the way, within the trailer for this Prequel Verdansk, we did see that the same green gas was surrounding the map. I don't really understand as to why this is the case though, because wasn't Asaad responsible for this? Which we believe to be Hadir's, that'll probably be revealed in the Modern Warfare sequel, so wouldn't it be a different gas if we're going to be seeing a prequel map? Maybe Nova 6 or something like that? According to data miners, we will be seeing Verdansk 10 minutes after its destruction after the event happens as well. This video isn't really about leaks though, I just thought I would touch upon these rumours floating around and share my thoughts and opinions on it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. I may make a video coming out soon talking about the future of Warzone and also the storyline and how it's tying into Verdansk, but this is all I have for today. But we will be exfilling the map before the nuke hits as part of some sort of plague game mode after the map becomes overrun by zombies. So hopefully this event is really interesting. Apparently it's going to be playing the Cold War Zombies Damned music. Anyways, thank you for watching the video and make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching and bye.